Merry Crisis Chats, and good morning! Welcome in! I did a couple changes. I went to a different room. If you can believe it. If you can believe it. I tried to find other assets. I'm not fast enough. I had a busy day and I overslept. And I was busy. Kind of sucks. Kind of sucks when you get like 30 minutes. Actually, I had less than 30 minutes. I had like 25. But welcome in. Hi, child. How are you doing? Are you okay? Hello? Smear. Wait, that's a great emote. I cast part. Oh my God. I keep forgetting. You keep saying party tub, and my brain for a split second is always like, what's a party tub? And then I'm like, oh yeah, the video, the lore, the grilling room. This ain't the grilling room. This isn't the grilling room. How could you? I could de-blur it. Let me see real quick. We'll unblur it momentarily. And I could also turn off the color correction that I had on it. Yay! But no, I think I actually like the color correction. Yoink. Yeah, that little bit darker. Thoughts on that meme? It's very interesting, Ganon. You've also gotten so much better at editing heads. Thank you for the lurk void, but welcome in, guys. How's your, Christmas week going so far? I do apologize. This will probably be the only stream we get before Christmas this week. Stop screaming! Dropping by just say hi because I'm going to the gym. Do forgive me now? How could you, Ren? How could you? Also, thank you for doing your season pass. I think Twitch also started a thing that goes until January 2nd, I think. Christmas! Yeah, Christmas. Quizmas. What do you mean? How could you were yelling at me for skipping gym 3 days ago? Go to the gym! But don't forget about me now. Don't forget about me, you hear? Oh my goodness. Mountain will never get me in the party tub? I think I could do it. I'm pretty confident I could do it. Thy can't stop me screaming. Thy? What year is it? Ordain? Oh my goodness. I did saw on Steam from My Side Game. Words? Those are some words. I'm not sure I understand though. That also reminds me, if I remember correctly, Epic Games has been giving away a game every day leading up to Christmas. And I think I actually missed the one yesterday. And that just reminded me. Oh no, Dark and Darker Legendary.
Skeletons and shivers down your spine.
Oh no.
Skull will shock your soul, seal your doom tonight.
Requires base game. Oh wait, but the base game's free, isn't it? Let's say, wait, isn't Dark and Darker free? I thought regular base game Dark and Darker was free. It is free. So you have to go grab the game first. You have to grab the base game for free first. And then you have to go get the legendary status, which is kind of funny. Something that's typically $30 is currently free. Fantastic. And now Horror's gonna grab me by the throat and make me play with him, isn't he? Words refuse to working. Words refuse. Merry Scaresmas. Happy Scaresmas to all. Merry Scaresmas to everyone. Oh my goodness. But yes, guys, I believe at least 4 already games ready to go. Unfortunately, I think at least 2 of them are very short. God damn it.
Making the mother of all omelets here, Jack. Can't bread over every egg.
The shampoo bottle? Why the shampoo bottle? Why do I deserve the shampoo bottle? What did I do to deserve the shampoo bottle, Ganon? Mountain watches Flex Air Live on stream. I don't even know what that is. Flex Air Live? Flex Air Live. Wait, that's such a good emote, Harness. Hold on a second. Wait, that aware, the 3D model aware is so good. Does Gana get uppies for Xmas? Yeah, Crimple background. A Crimple. Chrysler, Crisis. Crimbus, Scaresmas, if you will. Crimble. I'm sorry, I just like Crimple. Crimple, a festive crisis. Very much so. Very much so. Mary Frightmas. Oh, Frightmare. Mary Frightmare. I think that's supposed to be Frightmas. Mary Horrortide? No. I can't think of anything else that works. Mine just turns to white. Yeah. Yeah. Also, speaking of things turning to white, gotcha. Gotcha, bitches. Gotcha. Can't run from me. Can't run from me. I see directly into your souls. I do have the brain cell today. Okay, gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. Oh, you do not have the brain cell today. Okay. The stranger. Ah, yes, the mysterious stranger. Oh God, that just makes me think of fucking Fallout's mysterious stranger. Okay, hold on. I gotta look up. Now I gotta look up this fucking person. Who is this person? Huh, they look neat. Yoink. Excellent. Excellent. Anyway, we'll put those back. We'll put those back. I probably could have changed them to green, but they probably wouldn't have looked very good with the projection and stuff on it. Huarte? Wait, what? Huarte? Elaborate. I don't understand. Thy? Wait, did Ordain use thy again? Has Ordain become like a holy paladin or something? Please forgive typing goofs. I've had to play chef and sewing machine mechanic for the better part of the day. Oh God, did something happen to your sewing machine? Is it okay? Are your fingers generally okay? Are they recoverable? We haven't had a Clampton Gears situation yet, right? I'm gonna get you, Ordain, like in the meme. Oh God. Marriage is like thy over they. It's just interesting when somebody does it because nobody uses that level of English anymore. Needed fixing. Ah. Oh. Cooking a 7. Oh my God. Jesus. Wait. Are you what's the word? Is it honey cured? I don't remember. That is a meat obelisk. I'm sorry. That's all I think about now when I think of ham. No hickory? Even better. Even better. Actually, is it better? I kind of like mine honey cured. I like that little bit of sweetness. I like that little bit of sweetness. Actually, hold on, chat. I want to find something. I want to find a playlist really quick. I want a Rankin Bass. A Rankin Bass Christmas. Yes, perfect. Perfect. I'm taking you down my childhood memories. You better not pout, I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is coming to town. Oh my God, I miss these movies. I'm gonna have to terrorize Sai with these movies, Faye. I'm sorry. We have to introduce Sai to the Rankin Bass days. Oh God, I'm sure I can find a way to be able to show them. Turn up just a little bit more because we get to enjoy this for a minute. Oh, I wish I'd made like a cup of hot chocolate or something before this. It's not even cold out today, which is sad. It's a Texas thing. Oh my God. Mowen listens to Stay Too Long Pendulum remix. What is that? Crema. Yeah, Crema. Crema. I'm throwing any other like Americans who listen to these movies as kids straight down a goddamn well. I'm sorry, chat. You have to live with this. You have to go down the well. Oh my goodness. But While we're enjoying this, do y'all want to talk about some stupid shit that's come to light? Well, it should have come to light years ago, a couple years ago at least, but it didn't. Who uses honey? Anybody here use honey? The browser extension? Most very well, correct. And there's a claymation world down there. I used to use honey. Fucking ordained. Merry Christmas. Yes. Bum 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 bum. This is my favorite song. This is my favorite song from Rankin Bass movies. Oh my god. I considered it when I was younger. Yeah. So, oh god, hold on. My brain is just like pudding with this song playing. I need it. They robbed money from affiliated people. Correct. That's one of the things they did. That's only one of the things. So anybody who doesn't know what honey is originally a essentially a browser extension that you would download and was advertised by some of the biggest YouTubers basically ever. And Mr. Beast was even one of them. And essentially what they marketed as was, quote, free money in your pocket. Essentially, they said any shop you use on the internet, Honey will scour the internet to try and find you coupons to give you a better deal. And if there isn't a better deal, then it tells you there's not, and you can understand that where you're shopping, you have the best deal. That's the jargon and the shit that they would always say. It's a scam. No, it is straight up a scam. So what it came out to be is, if anybody knows how affiliate links work, I can do it in the term of like this channel. So if, say, you guys clicked, damn, I don't think I have anything that's a full-on affiliate link. Oh no, Green Man Gaming. If you click Green Man Gaming, if you click my link to Green Man Gaming, is that Lewis? Oh, it is Lewis. Okay. But if you clicked my link to Green Man Gaming and you went to Green Man Gaming and decided you were going to buy a couple games under my affiliate thing, that's great. That's fantastic. However, when you go to check out and you run Honey to check for coupons, not only does it override my affiliate link, it replaces it with their own. So even if they don't find any coupons for you, they find nothing. They find no way to save you any money whatsoever. They override my affiliate link, and instead they will get whatever affiliate kickback there is. Use goddammit Ganon at checkout. Amazing. Amazing. And so it's regardless. And the thing is they basically tried to hide it. It was in their coding. So the way they found out that you could track it and like see exactly when it happens. It does it in your cookies. So typically when you click an affiliate link, the website itself will save that initial affiliate link. So like, ooh, if you click that link, it'll save what essentially is like my whatever cookie tag is. Touch the cookies. Yeah, touch the cookies. Whatever my affiliate link is, it'll save it in your cookies for like however many days you have your browser set before it clears out old cookies. However, if you come back, say like a week later, 2 weeks later, and you click and go back to the website, it's probably still remembering my affiliate link. But you open Honey, or maybe even don't even use Honey, but you have Honey downloaded. At checkout, it'll replace it and it'll use that. The worst thing is Honey's not even like a small company or a small team. If y'all didn't know this, Honey was bought by PayPal more than 2 years ago. It's PayPal. PayPal is scrounging money, not just off the top of the people that are trying to save money, but literally the people that they are telling to like advertise for them. Now, the things that I've seen on it, apparently there's going to be more later, but that's only the first part. There's apparently like 2 more parts. PayPal fucked with my debit card. PayPal likes to fuck everybody. I know a lot of people that are getting screwed by PayPal because of PayPal's like arbitrary new rules or new changes. Debit card? What? Not very pal of you, Pay? Listen. Someone in IT was hungry? Ugh. And computing magic cookie refers to a token or piece of data that a program could use to identify a session or exchange information. Concept was inspired by the idea of fortune cookies, which contains a small hidden message or piece of data inside them. Ta-da! Hi, Annie. How are you doing? Oh my God, 90 stream streak. Holy shit. Oh my goodness. But, this is a weird version of the Heat Miser song. Hold on. Which one is this from? This is Rich Chambers. The Year Without Santa, but which one? Oh God, hold on. I'm gonna skip the Alvin and the Chipmunks shit that comes after this. Yes, this one. Dasher, Dancer, and Prancer and Vixen. You recall. Oh my goodness. Hope it doesn't make me an awful. Wait. What did you say? After learning about honey, I made a policy not to use honey for Amazon or anything along with lines. Only Papa John's. Can't be bothered to search through codes like that. The thing is it doesn't matter if you only use it for one website, Decade, because it's doing it on every website, regardless. Everything you buy on, it is probably sneaking in its own little affiliate code. You also can't forget that Honey only works on very specific, larger partnered websites. So like 90% of the time, probably more than 90% of the time, you get nothing out of Honey, and Honey takes a portion of your money. By the power of the ancient brick, by the power of the ancient brick, I cast brick by brick. Really? I'm sorry, I keep adjusting the volume of the music. Oh my goodness. But yeah, that's apparently what's going on with Honey. Oh God, Pal World got an update. See what's going on in terms of games. Grand Theft Hamlet? Oh my God. If there'll be snow, but have a cup of cheer. Oh my gosh. Also, hi, Minty. Wait. Oh, Minty shows up and then eats a brick? Or are you throwing the brick, Minty? Are you throwing the brick at Ordain? Or are you receiving the brick from Ordain? Also, Ordain, why did you fall over? I'm confused. Use brick to summon brick? Wonder how that works. I had Honey, but I never bought anything, so I just got rid of it because it was so annoying. Agreed. Jokes on Honey and PayPal. There's nothing for them to take. Also true. He summoned the brick. The brick. The brick TM, or like the brick as in like all proper noun, the brick. But oh, okay. Is that Shaq for? Oh no, Santa Shaq's in Fortnite. Uh-oh. Gross. Me when companies get exposed? Fuck yeah. But it seems like they're probably going to end up have a serious case of like various types of fraud. And I mean like a lot. There's a lot of different kinds of fraud that they've apparently been committing. I'm probably not the one to cover it. I'm sure Kono's going to tackle it in like the next few days if he hasn't already. Might be uninformed, but what's wrong with Shaq? It's just funny that they released a Christmas skin for him right before Christmas. Would you like some fraud? What's wrong with the free stuff cabin? Free stuff cabin? Free stuff cabin? Wait, what? Wait, what? Isn't Mojang a controversy too? I'm not fucking surprised. But honestly, has Mojang made anything besides Minecraft? Oh my God. Oh, I'm traveling down so many fucking memory lanes to all these songs. Hold on. Oh, I didn't get stuff to make cookies today. Exclamation mark scam. Scam train. Oh my goodness. That's what the thing was. Because I only partially mentioned it. I think Twitch started something today that is essentially how does it go? I'm trying to remember. What do they call it? The last chance deal or something? Because I think Valorant. No, Mary Chrysler. Hi, Zest. But no, I think Twitch is running essentially another sale, like very similar to September. Let me see if I can actually find it. Let me go find the person I know that has made a post about it recently. Where is it? Bonus round. That's what it's called. End of the year bonus round. 1 month subs are 25% off, 3 month subs are 25% off, and 6 month subs are 30% off. And if you gift subs, every 5 sub gifted gives a bonus one. And apparently it goes till the 2nd. So that's next Thursday. Wait, what did I have? Oh, that's the Power World thing. I don't think I care to talk about Power World. I don't care about Power World. Bourdain does it for you. Oh my God. Has been making Minecraft related stuff. They just made other games, but different types of Minecraft. Yeah. Okay, that's right. Because there's like that weird story mode one. Oh geez, hold on. Let me go look at Mojang's thing really quick. Mojang. I misspelled Mojang. Literally the second letter N. Games. Yeah, Minecraft Dungeons, Minecraft Legend, Minecraft Education. Minecraft Education? What's wrong with the story mode? I was talking about dungeons. I was talking about Minecraft Dungeons. And then there's Legends? Action strategy game? Okay. I guess. Question? I suppose. And Minecraft is educational? Is it? Is it? Is it? Be honest. Be honest. Also, hold on. I need to check something. Something just popped into my head. I can't remember. Day. Okay. That's this coming weekend. Okay, so we do have a collab this coming weekend. Yes, Education Edition is because of all the elements and stuff. Oh my God, it's the Misfits song. The Island of Misfits. Don't you want to mess with the elements in Minecraft? Is that what it's about? I have a disc copy of Minecraft Story Mode. What? Why? Why do the thing? No reason it's on display now. Wait. What kind of display is it on? Do you have like a shadow box for it? What's the deal? I need to know I need to know this whole image. I can flex on Marin for having a delisted game. I probably have a bunch of delisted games. I have fucking Firefall in my Steam library. Fuck you, Mark Kern. Oh shit, speaking of Mark Kern. What a better time to badmouth other people than around Christmas. What do we want to see? Do we want to see if Grums is complaining about something else brain dead stupid? Well, he's apparently still complaining about Star Wars Outlaws, which, speaking of which, we actually do have that game. We may play that. Maybe this weekend? Maybe next week. We'll see what happens. When isn't he complaining? That is true. But he's doing his same usual shit of being like, why do AAA studios keep making women that look like men? And apparently somebody made a mod that made the main character look like a real life actress, as if the main character didn't already look like a real life actress that she was modeled after, just a different one. I also have no idea who this person is because the article of the person who posted it does not explain who it is, which is extremely weird. Imagine it sits on the shelf in an open Xbox 360 disc case surrounded by Halo figures. Okay. So you didn't get it like framed or anything. It's just it's on the shelf to be looked at. You mean Grumps makes other content? Wait, Grumps? Grums. Grums, not Grumps. Although Grumps does make sense. But wait a second. Neil Druckmann's women and Amy Hennig's women? What? I don't understand the comparison that he's trying to make. EA permabans your Apex account for just saying don't be gay. Get fucked. Get fucked. That's funny. Oh, interesting. EA says be gay. Yep, exactly. What? Oh, that's another Shia emote. I was like, what is he? Oh, he's not sucking on pasta. He's spitting it out. Okay. That's so fucking funny, though. That's so fucking funny. Wait. Hold on. A Tesla Model Y owner in Portland has had this taped to their vehicle by a neighbor. Oh. Alternative vehicles to a Tesla Model Y. Amazing. Apparently it was a note that like warns them that like I've heard rumors that people are gonna start attacking Tesla cars because they don't like Mr. Musk. So I wanted to warn you, and if you want to get another electric car, here are some options for you. I mean, I'd be weird if they said the opposite. Have you read about the legends? And I like Catalyst. That's true. I mean, which of the looks at Apex characters? Which one of you isn't gay? Maybe Octane. Okay, maybe Octane. Octane's probably the only one I can think out. Wait. Who? I don't understand what I'm looking at. What is Gibson? Oh, it's a defense fund. Eat shit. Eat shit. Mary Chrysler, hi grins. Mini ham wiwin. Why am I a ham? Now back to taking catalytic converters. Let's go! We're yoinking and selling catalytic converters. Wait. Wait. Intel Holiday Bundle 2024. If you want to buy a pre-built PC for yourself, it comes bundled with 6 months of Ubisoft Plus and a free Assassin's Creed Shadows. That's not surprising. Ubisoft has done that with damn near every single Assassin's Creed game, probably since like 2012. Who remembers when Valhalla was paired with PCs? Mewen as ham? Oh no. Ganon? Might as well get on it because they're going to want it. A Very Terrifying Christmas. Are you referring to the Nightmare Before Christmas story or the Christmas Carol story? Neither. Hi, Bob. Neither. We're going to be playing some Christmas horror games. Could I take a Tesla battery? They're pretty big. More like Ubisoft, am I right? I can agree with that. But it's also like they're doing some kind of, they're basically like, that smells like desperation. It's like, Ubisoft has done this since always. Sometimes they're even bundled with like GPUs. They will literally be bundled in the box of brand new GPUs if you buy them. That reminds me, I'm pretty sure I have one of my old GPUs and it was bundled with a game. I just can't remember what game it was right now. But if you want a reason, don't you eat people? Then at this point, you were ham as a Lovecraftian being. I am not ham. I can be food, but I'm not ham. Is every food ham? Is every meat ham? I don't think so. They've always been desperate? No. Especially even some of their like best-selling fucking Assassin's Creed games have been like paired with things. It's just a way to get the game out there. Giving a game out isn't always a like look of desperation. I just got 4070 and got the new Indiana Jones game with the game is great too. I've heard it's really good. Lovecraft a ham? Oh no. Oh no. Okay. Company offers pirate cruise complete with real galleon ship, unlimited beer and rum, and a room for 12 buddies to sail the seas with. Oh no. Oh no. Chat. EA now pay us $99.99 for the use of our games. Is that what it cost? I don't know. I've never used like subscription game services. I've never even used like the Xbox Game Pass, I think is what it's called. Where's our free carnival games? Around the corner. You have the fishing game. That's free. It's free every minute. You got to cast, you get your fish, and you got to go to the end of the line. Not every human is Jack, but every Jack is a human. That's not true. Jack from Jack and Daxter. I forget, was EA the company that had like the executive that wanted to make like, what was it? Make it cost every bullet or something? Or am I thinking of someone else? Plays Game Pass games so much he got us 3 months free on points alone? Damn. Okay, but I've also known dogs that are named Jack, okay? Need more GameCube games for the Carnival Lounge? Oh my god, I would kill for some GameCube games. I'd kill for some GameCube games. I don't even have... I'm pretty sure we don't have our Wii or our Kirby Air Ride anymore. Oh, goodness. Pee-pee poo-poo. What do you mean, Samuel? How could you? Oh my god, all the people that got these squish emotes. Everybody's got these squish emotes. They're kind of cute. But... hold on, I'm still looking at a couple of the Grum stuff. Buy something? Wait, what is this? Outlaw... wait. Star Wars Outlaw devs admit that so few players have interest in the game that not one single player has unlocked a mount from completing some mini-games. Kenzo Byte is not only Kagan Nix's home, but also the home of Fathier Racing, which is why it was a natural fit for our game. With Kanto Byte in the game and syndicates obviously rigging races, it's perfectly aligned with the world we were building. The races offer thrilling scenarios where your Fathier may make a desperate sprint to cross the finish line first, capturing the excitement of real horse races. We worked hard to make the races as entertaining as possible. Here's a little secret. To this day, no one has acquired their own Fathier. To unlock this, players need to complete dedicated short quests scattered around these betting stations. This will reveal an additional quest that brings Kate back to Tashara for a special opportunity. Let's see if anyone can crack it now. Chats. Oh no, we can't do that today though. I promised Christmas games. I even went to the Christmas room. I put up all these decorations. Star Wars Outlaws thing? The thing is, they gave me the game. I was given an opportunity because I'm technically like in the affiliate program with them. And they gave me an opportunity for like, do you want to play Star Wars Outlaws? We only want one stream. We'll give you the $70 game. And my brain going, free $70 game is like, I kind of want it. My frick emote has been censored. Wait, what is it? What is that? Oh, is it a bird? Is there a bird on her hand? Former CEO of EA that suggests that people pay every time they reload, and more recently, he has been the CEO of Unity. Ugh. Dodged a bullet? What do you mean, dodged a bullet? The fact that we live in a time where a Star Wars game doesn't sell well anymore because all slop is sad. Oh no, we're probably gonna play it. We're probably gonna play it on stream for like one stream. I think we'll do that next week. Also, hold on, I'm getting a phone call. Well, chats, we already have bad news. My grandparents are here. I have to go let them in, and then now I'm gonna have to do this with essentially them setting shit on fire. So if y'all would like to play the fishing game for a little bit, I need to go get Grammy and Grandpa go round. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Grandparents are here. Oh, oh, that's the duck duck ghoul. Okay. Fish and fire. No. Burn every person outside. Wait, what happened? Hold on. Hold on. I gotta go back up. What happened? Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. That's a lot of fire. Oh, no. Wait. Sells its bad thing. It shows we won't buy your shit game. True. Demanding more smooches and snuggles. No, now we have two other pups. It's fishing time. Grandpa's on fire. Grandpa's not on fire. Grandpa's in the bathroom. I'm sorry, Newell. Yeah, my grandparents got here. My grandparents showed up. I had to get some stuff out. There was some stuff left though, but they said I could just come back. I'm sorry. I feel bad. Let us say hi. No, never. Not allowed. Not allowed. Eat my cake in peace with Grandpa putting himself on fire, like CJ from GTA San Andreas. Wait, did somebody set themselves on fire in that game? I did not know that. Hold on, I'm still trying to catch up in chat. Or Dayton, did you think of homeless people? Wait, what? Wait a second. By the power of Santa, I cast Firestorm in every house. Jesus. Why are you trying to put fire on homeless people too? They already don't have a house. I mean, they'd be warm for the rest of their life. Okay, I'm not making that joke. Not making that joke. Accidentally left a gift out on the counter for my grandpa and just forgot to hide it because I didn't know they were coming today. Wait, turn off our flex air. What is the flex air? Why do you keep saying flex air? Was he on fire? No, he wasn't. Hold on. Now Ganon's gonna make me fucking look up. Oh, music's still loud. I'm sorry. Music is still loud. It's going to, yeah, you said flex. What the fuck is a flex air? Flex air. What is a 5? What is a flex air 5? Oh, that's the name of the videos. Duh. That's the name of the video series. Okay. 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 Let the fire guide your sleep. Guide your sleep? Said Grandpa isn't on fire. I'm sad. Why did you want Grandpa on fire? That's horrible. A friend just sent me this. Oh, hold on. Now I got like an itch behind my ear. Oh God. All right, chat. You want to know something funny? Friend just sent me this prize structure for a StarCraft tournament from 2010, and I can't stop laughing. First place, $500. Second place, $250. Third place, $150. Fourth place, $100. And fifth place through eighth place gets 25 Bitcoins. That's actually kind of incredible. That's kind of incredible in some way. Also, hi to Great J. How are you doing? I adore you. Thank you, Kono. Wait, weren't you doing something today? Aren't you somewhere else? No, it's from 2010. It's apparently from a StarCraft tournament. Fifth through eighth place got 25 Bitcoins while everybody else got like direct cash prizes. Can you imagine still having those 25 Bitcoins and just being like, never have I felt so good about not being the best at StarCraft. Because Grandpa's going to shout like CJ. The real Mothra Leo? Mothra? The real Mothra Leo? Is it Mothra Leo? I think it's Mothra Leo. Mothra Leo? Attendance, I'm trying to get emotion out. Oh. It's not happening, Ganon. It's not happening. You're not getting it. Oh my goodness. Okay. I don't think... Wait, how far in? What time is it? Okay, it's not even 5 yet. But, real quick. Um. Okay. Oh no, he found the Harley Quinn comics. Oh no, he found the Harley Quinn comic we were talking about a couple days ago. Oh no. Oh no. But what if I gave you free legal work and paid for them myself, Malin? Kono, the model's already crazy chunky. I don't even have like the second haircut I wanted. Rin won't even rig it unless I have to pay like a pretty big chunk. Why is hair so expensive? Why is hair by itself so expensive? God damn it, Rin. That's a good question. I don't know. I'd have to go talk to Drool about doing the art for it because you can't just do it with what's currently there. I don't know. I don't know if I don't know. I don't know off the top of my head. I don't know what Rin would charge to do the physics for that. Hair alone was like $400 was what he quoted when I asked him if he would do the other hairstyle, but he still said it'd be 400. And I was like, well, I can't spend all the money I have right now. But I don't know about the chest thing, Kono. I don't know about the chest thing. He's messaging Ren. He's messaging Ren. Uh-oh. Oh. Wait a second. Oh, okay. That's just here's a fun fact about Apple products, but I don't give a shit about Apple products. Mary Shrimp Miss. It is Shrimp Miss. You are technically correct. Did you remember to get all of your shrimps gifts done? You got all of them, every single one of them. You are going to give an individualized gift to every one of your shrimp, right? Right? You can't leave them out. You got to give them something special. Yes, Kono. 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 I don't like. I'd rather you didn't. The bag, oh my God, Moosin, no. Oh no, Kono, you're getting them all on board. I promise to give a gift to each of my shrimp. Hell yeah. High grade Hikari shrimp pellets. Why the asterisks around Hikari? Would I just come back to? I don't know, Wild Things. I don't know. You son of a bitch, I'm in? Oh no. The thing is, I don't think it'll look good, Kono. Listen, I already have another model that has some sliders and stuff on it that you'll probably like. That's fine. Like right now, I'm still trying to figure out what to do in the future for like the next outfit because of how the current like 2.0 is so goddamn chunky, and I don't know if it's because of like Drool's art style or if maybe he didn't like. What's the word? Compartmentalize the model enough. Listen, the new model is fucking sick. I just don't know yet when we're going to do a full debut on that, but we are trying to put some other stuff together. Oh. Wait, YouTube is now blocking you if you watch more than 3 videos in an ad blocker? Oh, video player will be blocked after 3 videos? What? Maidrin? No, that's not the next outfit. No. We're going to do a summer outfit. It's going to have like a diving suit and stuff so I can do the goofy ass fish videos and shit. We're going to talk about the horrors of the ocean and the beauty of it, but mostly the horrors. Oh my goodness. Hasn't smacked me and I haven't integrated blocker? Wait, what? Wait, who hasn't smacked you? Oh, see, we're committing burglary? Burglary? Wait, how did you come up with burglary? This is not a now fake who only just learned of this. Wait, what? It lasts long enough to have I don't. I have not. I don't think I ever will. Maybe I'll have art, but I won't have. Actually, I've already had art, but I won't ever have a model for it. That shit's not happening. Oh my goodness. All right. Hold on. What is this about triple Zing? Okay. I'm just gonna move on past all of these. Oh God, Grum's talking about other people being in an echo chamber. Sure. All right. I don't think I want to look at Grum's anymore because it's a lot of the same shit. Oh, the Real Game Awards? The what? The Real Game Awards. Are you sure about that? CLN3? Listen, no. There's still about 4 minutes until the ad break. And my hair is like, today was like a full wash day, which like I do. If anybody doesn't know how like certain hair routines work, this hair routine is like a full cleanse wash. And then there's like, of course, like regular shampoo washes. But I use like a special cleansing shampoo once a month, which is basically like a reset on the hair. And right now, fucking my head itches. It didn't itch until after I went outside to try and get like a bunch of gifts and stuff. We need to comment the Game Awards with the actual Game Awards. No. Actually, hold on. I want to see. I'm curious. So there's a Twitter page. The Real Game Awards, Best Action Game. Oh, no. Oh, no. Okay, hold on. I want to see. Is there a website? Okay, there is a website. There is a website. Can I vote still? Wait, how did they set these up? Are these all each individual pages? Oh God, they are. This is voting members, the final boss of voting. Cast your vote for Game of the Year and help crown the... Oh my God, you have to pay $30 to be able to vote? This is a scam. You have to pay a minimum of $30 a year. It is a year, not monthly, a year, to be able to nominate or vote for the award show. That's fucking stupid. Here, let me see if I can just go back to this thing and actually look at what they have listed. Okay. The Real Game Awards Best Action Game, Stellar Blade, Wukong, Space Marines 2, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and Indiana Jones. I don't think most of these... Well, I forget. At the actual Game Awards, like the actual... Final Fantasy VII was there, and Black Myth Wukong, I know for sure. Was Space Marines 2 part of the action one? Fucking Astrobot winning? I disagree with that heavily. Heavily. All right, what do we got here? Real Game Awards, Best FPS, Call of Duty Black Ops 6, RoboCop Rogue City, are you serious? Stalker 2. Is that those are the only first-person shooters that came out? Wait, hi Curtis, thank you for the boba. Astropix totally paid, oh no. There had to have been other... It was fine, but not Game of the Year. Oh, definitely not. That game was so short-lived in terms of, like, came and went. Oh, yeah, it shouldn't have been Game of the Year. I agree. There's, like, a platformer on a Sony console does nothing to push what, like, games and stuff are. It's about as safe as it gets. All right. Oh God, they have a Husbando of the Year category. Kiryu Kazuma from Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. Barrett Wallace from Final Fantasy VII. Broly from Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. Ichiban Kusaga from Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. Waifus include Eve from Stellar Blade, Tifa from Final Fantasy VII, Bernice from Triple Z, and Juliet from Lollipop Chainsaw Repop, the fucking remaster. Wait, we already listened to the song. Hold on, fuck this. Do we go back to our original playlist? Oh, I'm already almost towards the end of the list. Okay, hold on. Where's the rock? There we go. Yeah, we'll do the rock Christmas songs. Bernice and not Jane. Yeah, apparently. But all the best MMOs on this list are Final Fantasy XIV, World of Warcraft, RuneScape, and Guild Wars 2. All MMOs so sufficiently outdated. Oh my god. Grandma just poked in. She just threw a Grinch hoodie at me. Oh shit, this is the fucking it's the animated Grinch movie, not the Jim Carrey one. And it's like those weird scratchy ones, not scratchy ones. Hold on. What is this? What is this fabric? There's got to be a tag for it, right? There's got to be a tag. I can't find a tag. But yeah, it's mainstream media would have had an aneurysm if Jane went up on screen. Wait, really? Why? Compared to Bernice, whose butt's hanging out the back? Excuse you? Also, I totally forgot that the ads were coming. Totally missed that. Totally missed that. I'm sorry, chat. I'm sorry. Oh god, now I'm just thinking of the South Park. We're sorry. We're sorry. I say standing in front of a fireplace. Welcome to InTalk. How was your stream? Did you have a good time? What shenanigans were you up to? What trouble did you get into? What Christmas stuff were you up to? What Witcher 3? Ooh, did you get it on the holiday sale? Got my own hair in my mouth. Ads Shield Ganon. Oh no. But no, this is also this is something called the Real Game Awards. These guys have no traction compared to most other stuff. To most other the streamer awards that happened before and the game awards that happened last week, I think. Best fighting game. What the fuck is it? Best fighting game. Dragon Ball, Sparking Zero, Tekken 8, Under Night in Birth. I have never heard of this game. And then, wait, wasn't there a Street Fighter game that came out this year, or was that last year? Anybody remember? Anybody remember? I think Street Fighter actually may have come out last year. Stabbed a bunch of people in Witcher and did get it on sale? Hell yeah. I hope you're enjoying the game. You playing it to get ready for the new Witcher 2? Witcher 4? Witcher 4? But... okay, what is this? Best third-person shooter. Space Marines 2, Helldivers 2, First Descendant, Earth Defense Force 6? So wait, these people aren't just doing games of this year. Because Earth Defense Force 6 has been out a while, if I remember right. I'm pretty sure it's been out a while. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, this is dumb as shit, but hold on. Game Awards Best Story. Black Myth Wukong, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Unicorn Overlord, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. That one's going to Final Fantasy VII. Hands down. Hands down, Final Fantasy VII. Out of those, for Unicorn Overlord, for real? But this category, hold on, this next category is the dumbest shit I think I've seen. The Real Game Awards, biggest cash grab. The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered, Horizon Zero Dawn Remastered, Star Wars Outlaws, and Tekken 8. Not the game, apparently Tekken 8 DLC. Wait, did y'all... 5 levels? Wait, you can skip 5 levels in this game? I did not know you could do well enough to skip 5 levels. I thought the highest you could skip was 3. Jesus. Jesus. Okay, that one was fair. Wait, which one? The remasters? The Horizon Zero Dawn remaster and Last of Us Part 2 remaster? I can agree with that. It's bad recently. I've really wanted to play Horizon Zero Dawn again. I still have it. I have the complete edition and my old PlayStation. It's the only category I agree with. I don't think... I think there's worse things that are cash grabs that we've had this year. The thing too, though, is I'm pretty sure Last of Us 2 Remastered didn't come out this year. Came out way back, didn't it? Maybe it did come out this year. I don't even remember hearing the announcement of a remastered. Was Remastered the thing on Game Awards? No, I don't think so. Where's the PS10? The PlayStation 10? I don't have a PlayStation 10. I don't even have a PlayStation... Wait, what PlayStation do I have? Do I have a PlayStation 4? I think I have a PlayStation 4. I know I don't have a 5. I don't think it's PlayStation 3. I don't know. I honestly don't know. It's been in a box for a long time. What is this? Best value game. Space Marine 2, Pal World, Fortnite, The First Descendant. Pathetic. Best multiplayer experience. Helldivers, Space Marine 2, Call of Duty 6, Black Ops 6, Fortnite. Jesus. Best sports games. Oh, Jesus. College Football 25, Rocket League, 2K24, and Harry Potter Quidditch Champions? Are you serious? Lore accurate Malin? What do you mean? Best RPG, Final Fantasy VII, Unicorn Overlord, Metaphor, and Dragon Quest III HD 2D Remake. Okay, that one's either Metaphor or Final Fantasy VII. Best Early Access Game, Delta Force, No Rest for the Wicked, Pal World, Hades 2. Hades 2. Hades 2. Why do they have a category for Best Microsoft IP? The only 3 options are Minecraft, Doom, and Call of Duty. Best PlayStation IP, God of War, Astrobot, Stellar Blade, Helldivers 2. Best Nintendo IP, Mario, The Legend of Zelda, Pokemon, and Splatoon. Best Games Journalist? I don't know any of these people. Savvy, Endymion, Kirsch, John F. Trent. Motherfucker has almost his whole name as his internet tag. 8-Ball is in with the Z. Oh my God, without a doubt. Even the 8-Ball agrees. Worst, oh God. Worst game journalist category. Alyssa Mercante, Paul Tassi, Nick Calandra, Rebecca Valentine. Shitty ass game of the year. Oh boy. Oh boy. Suicide Squad, Dustborn, Dragon Age the Veilguard, Concord. Like, it's Concord. It's Concord hands down. A game that existed for 12 days is obviously the shitty ass game of the year. Jesus Christ. Didn't have to pay to fucking vote on those things. That's insane. That's just straight up insanity. Wait, what is this? Okay. Huh? Sweet Baby Inc. strikes again, apparently, but I don't think I understand what Grums is trying to say. Wait, does he just get off on, like, attempts at, like, journalism revolving around games getting called out for lying? Is that I think that's what he's trying to get at. Gotta pay to vote on the 2.0 Carnival? Vote on the 2.0 Carnival. No, It's my decision. It's all mine. I get to make it as dark and grim or comfy and cozy as I want, damn it. Gosh darn it. 1 Concord, 2 Suicide Squad, 3 Dusk. Yeah, I can see that. Well, actually, I think in terms of worse, no, I think it's Concord, Dustborn, Suicide Squad. Which I think Suicide Squad is also like $3 on Steam right now. So if you really like DC stuff and you want to get a usually expensive ass game for borderline nothing, grabby hands. Grabby hands. Go get him, champ. Go get him. I think it's the analytics decision. Probably. Let me see here. What is this? No. Oh God, Neptunia. What are people talking about Neptunia for? Oh boy, Nintendo censoring a game on the Switch? Damn, it's almost like the Switch is primarily intended as a younger audience console. Marin is subject to the analytics. We're all subject to the analytics. Every one of us was screwed from the start. In my opinion, at best, $9. Also, hold on. Oh, jeez. Oh, my hair feels like it's a fucking mess after the fucking cleanse today. Blue Sky has a death threat problem? What? Of what? Wait. Okay. All right, chat. We got things to do. We've got games to play. Now, I did a little bit of scrounging, yesterday. Yesterday, looking for some Christmas horror games because, shockingly, there's quite a few. Ugh. I hate it. I hate when family's in town. Oh my goodness. Hold on. All right. Where was I? Jesus. Okay. Oh, the game. Duh. I was going to change the category. I got flashbanged. Let me do this. Change it to games and demos. Yoink. Yoink. Now, like I said, I have a few games that I took from Itch. It seems like there was, I don't know if it wasn't this year, it seems, but apparently in years past, if anybody doesn't know, Itch.io occasionally does, what do you call them? This is not a Vin Diesel movie. Brain fart. What was it? They occasionally do, they're called like game jams, I think is what they're called. So on occasion, some land on like Christmas time. So people tend to make very fast, very like somewhat brief games. But they're usually semi-interesting. They're usually low poly. So I think all 4 of the ones I have are like low poly or like PSX style. But I'm going to go with the first one I have, which is a game called Sleigh Bells. There it is. Okay. And hoping it works. Hold on a second. What is... Oh, there's only one quality option? And then let me do... Oh my God, that is so loud. There we go. Okay. And then let me go ahead and do a little thingamajig over Nya. Really quick. And And then we could swing right on over. No. Bad music. Bad music. Okay. Oh. Oh God. Oh God, that's a pain to read. A game by Blake McKinnon? Sleigh Bells? The making it. Oh my God. Oh my God, the pixels. This is also 1920. This is 1920 by 1080. Has sweet PS5 controller edition? Wait, what? Oh, there was the Concord, like, PlayStation controller? When we get in the Dark Carnival in a jam game? I wish. I don't know how to make games, though. Okay. Now, if I remember correctly, this game is particularly based off of classic slasher movies. So you can't quite see it behind me, but I'm kind of half expecting a slasher Santa. So let me see here. Right click is zoom. F toggle flashlight. Show objective is Q. I think that's a Q. Interact is E. Sprint is shift. Next dial. Okay. Okay. Christmas Eve and I'm still taking my clothes off in this horrible town for, wait. Oh, interesting. Taking off my clothes for money in this horrible town. Better deliver Billy's Christmas present before it gets too late. I wonder if he even remembers what I look like. He hasn't seen me for months. Not since he went to live with his father. Why'd they have to take him from me? Uh-oh. I miss my little Billy. Oh, no. Hold on. Can I... Okay. That's a lot better. Peep show. Oh, no. Hi. It's people. Like Silent Night, Deadly Night? I think... Deliver Billy's present. But where? Oh, there's a stamina bar. Okay, so if I sprint. But... Oh, mini-map. But... White arrow on the map points... Oh, okay. Run across the street, run across the street, run across the street. Oh. Back here. Uh-oh. Oh. Oh! Sparkle, sparkle, sparkle. I'll just leave the present here. I doubt they'll want to see me right now. I better get home before it gets too late. I don't want to be out after midnight. Merry Christmas, Billy. Is that an elf? Cat? What's going on over here? I can punch. Hi, taxi. Please don't run me over, car. That is weirdly large. Hello? Oh, here we go. I wonder what's going on here. I don't want to get... I won't be getting home this way, I guess. Have to go through the subway tunnel. It's not that much further. Is that further up the road, I'm guessing? Oh God, we kind of do take our sweet time getting up the stairs. Okay. Punching random people's biddies? Unbelievable. I'm sorry, okay? I'm sorry. Hello? Tasty Burger. Wait. I swear somebody told me about a restaurant called Tasty Burger and like their whole menu used AI art. Hot sausage. The Cat and the Mouse Experiments. A Blake McKinnon film. It's his own name. Amazing. Amazing. Merry Crisis. Uh-oh. Oh, what the heck was that? Oh, what is it? He's been disemboweled. What sort of maniac would do such a thing? I don't know anybody that would do such a thing. Better get out of here before whoever did this comes back. We're skipping the toll fare. We're gonna talk about the very sudden audio cut. Immediately cut. Oh. Oh, he's pathing. Okay, wait. This is where he came in, isn't it? No, it's not. Wait a second. Oh. Getting nervous. I'm getting nervous. I gotta go. I gotta go. Need a crowbar. Oh, you're fucking joking. Really? Oh my god, we're gonna have to go the other direction, aren't we? Oh, man. Heart rate monitor. All right. All right. Hold your horses. Hold your horses. Okay, Stevie. Actually make anything brain hurt too much? Make game brain hurt too much? Actually make anything brain hurt too much? Amazing. Also, let me get this up and on. And then I think I'm actually gonna put on my hoodie because I'm kind of cold. There we go. There we go. Take you. Pulsoid. Okay, well that connects. I'm gonna put on the hoodie. Okay. Oh. Wait, it says it's on, but it says I don't have a heartbeat. That can't be right. Hold on a second. Let's see. Okay, here. Let me try restarting the app. Come on, Pulsoid. Listen, I know I'm not dead. Come on. It even says my battery's at 100%, which is actually kind of weird. Can tell you the last time I replaced the battery on this thing. Well, where are we hiding? Oh, there it is. Okay, we're good. We're good. We got this. It's fine. It's fine. It's totally fine. It's totally fine. Okay. Okay. I'd like to hope that he's still... Oh, there he is. He is still pacing. Okay. Okay. This is fine, this is fine, this is fine. One bathroom. Well, shit, it's not this one. Okay. Well, I'm gonna wait to see him come by. Where are we holding? Okay, there he goes. I looked away for a second. Oh. He's killing policemen now? What a monster. Wait, is there still no crowbar? Does he have the crowbar? Also, is this supposed to be a urinal? Just one of those like wall waterfall ones? Weird. Okay. Okay, hold on. Does he have a crowbar? Is that what he's walking around with? A pissing trough? Yeah, apparently a pissing trough. Hi, Krim. Here he is. Wait, where'd he go? Okay. Oh no, he has an axe. Damn, I apparently have a very powerful punch. Here, we're just gonna... Oh, can I go this way? Can I just go down the tunnel? If he shows up behind me, I'm probably gonna scream. Wait, did the music die? Oh, I hear the footsteps and stuff. Well, no, that's... Okay. Also, why are the rails so huge? Okay. Well, let's go back the other direction then. What do you mean, our music? What's wrong? Played some spooky games? Yes, we are. Hi, Brando. We're playing some Christmas horror games. This one's from Itch. So that was the door that it like saw through the wall. And when we clicked it, it said we need something like a crowbar, but do I need to just punch the door? I wonder. You spooked yet? It's more goofy than anything, but I don't know where to find this crowbar. Hey there, buddy. Like, we checked both the bathrooms. All we did was find that... Oh, hey. Okay. I'm sure this will be fine. I'm sure. There's nothing to worry about. Oh, fuck. It's been cut up really bad, worse than the others. Oh, I missed that. I only clicked it once, but for some reason it went by twice. Hello? There's gotta be a crowbar down here, right? Oh, was that blue thing the crowbar? It looks like it. He's here. Nope, 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 nope. Please, sir, excuse me. I have places to be, things to do, family to love and appreciate now. Okay, well, the music stopped. Is he out here again? Is he pacing? No, he's not pacing. Okay. Okay. Whatever you say there, champ. Hi, Gaia. Oh, I forgot I can jump. Huh. Okay. Mercrimbus? Hi, Hyper. Mercrimbus! You will have a Merry Crimbus. Merry Chrysler. Happy Crisis. Merry Spookaween. No, not Spookaween. Spookmas. Scaremas? Frightmas. Excuse me. Okay, it's the same posters. Also, I need a drink of water. Hold on a second. Ah, yes, it's Decemberween. You are correct. It is, in fact, Decemberween. Okay, well, it looks like we're on the opposite side of the... Very quiet all of a sudden. Uh-oh. I wonder where everyone's gone. Hopefully everybody's home, because it's Christmas Eve. Actually, why are all the streets blocked? Oh, no. Hold on, I don't want to go in there. I'm going to go... Oh, shit, I have to go in there. Oh, my God. Snowman. Hey, Mr. Snowman. I hit it like it's a piece of, like, ceramic. Okay. Uh-oh. Why do they have to keep locking this gate? I'm so close to getting home. It looks damaged. I might be able to break it down with something. Fuck. Okay, so I guess whatever that something is going to be... like a blue dot, like the other thing. Oh, nope. Oh, there it is. Oh, hey there, champ. So good at this game. So good at this game. Fuck you. Okay. My home.
Wait the fuck up,
Fucking Christ.
samurai. We have a city to burn.
Decemberween. Hope Meredith's well and the scrim's not doing all right. Okay. Oh, eviction notice. Uh-oh. I'm only a few days late on my payments. They must have changed the lock too. My key won't work. Need to get out of here before Santa finds me. Only way out of here is along the train tracks. I mean, he knows when you're sleeping. He knows when you're awake. He knows if you've been bad or good. Okay, that just looks like a corner. Maybe it wasn't. So? Oh, duh, the track's above me. Duh. Duh. Also, we just said he's an automatic firearm. Oh, no. Oh, no. Okay. Hello. Oh, definitely can't go that way. God, this axe covers a huge... Oh! Hello? I swear to God, if I can run over... Oh, wait. Huh? Oh, just a little, like, load. Oh, no. Oh, no, why does it have to be another train station? Why does this man get around so fast? Oh, a gun. Hell yeah. And oh no. Oh no. Okay, so we have like every tool at our disposal. And there's more over here. What is... Oh, more ammo. Okay, so the green is more ammo. Okay, I feel like I'm gonna have to use the crowbar to go open that door down there, and then he's gonna be here, and I'm probably gonna have to fight him. Right? Right? I think that's probably what's gonna happen. Also, you're not... Oh, that's a hat. Okay. Whew, in a fight, right? Oh. Move, bitch! Move! Jesus. You'll never get me, fat man! You'll never get me! It also doesn't seem like I need to reload. Oh, I'm out of stamina. Keep shooting. Damn it! Well, shit. It's fine. It's fine. Do it again. Do it again. Oh, the ammo's on the other side of this wall. Give me that. Give me food, give me fire, give me that which I desire. All right. And then let's get this other box of ammo. So it looks like I died to 2 hits of his axe. Okay. All right, kids, time to kill Santa. Time to kill Santa. Because, oh, the night Santa went crazy. Hold on, I'm getting that. Hi, Sapphire, how are you doing? Welcome in. Here we go. All right, yeah, this is what we need. This is what we need right here. Whiskey on his breath. To his boots, he was covered with ammo. Yuletide Rambo. Now that he said, with a twinkle in his eye, Merry Christmas to all! Now you're all gonna die! Forget. I got this. I got this. Not even close. Not even close. Oh, it's too close. It's too close. Oh, I apparently still took that hit. Damn. Unfortunate. Yeah. Everywhere you find pieces of Cupid and Comet. Merry Christmas. Reindeer sausage. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. You get what you deserve? Yeah. I'm sorry, this game made me think of that. All right. So that's the first one done. Oh, whoops. There we go. Going nuts. Okay, next one. We'll do Don't Stay Awake. There it is. Oh, loud. Loud, 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 loud. You run us? Wait, what do you mean you won us at Chevrolet? Jesus. English. Okay. Federal prison, an infamous crime. Oh, I miss this song. All right, hold on. We're cutting that. We're cutting that. That's a good song. That's a good song. I fucking love Weird Al. All right, let me turn the volume back up for you. I'm afraid to see how loud this game's gonna get, so I'm gonna leave it about, I think, here. Now, this one's apparently a really short game. I don't remember if it was this game or if it was somebody else But this was actually made by, I believe, a 15-year-old. I think this was the game that I found on itch.io that said that the person who made it was 15 years old, and this was the first thing they ever made. December 24th. Kind of a cute cabin, not gonna lie. I don't like the mismatched roof though. Was that supposed to be audio? Press E to get up, okay. It's midnight. Oh. That didn't look good. I don't know what that is. And these I can't open. I need something to attract him. Prepare milk and cookies? Oh no. Oh no. Why am I so small? Hide. Now's not the time to hide. Oh no. I need a cup and a plate. But they're up there and I'm so down here. Okay. Is there a, like, can I get a chair? I can't get a chair. Yeah, wait, this is kind of clever. I would like a cup and plate, please and thank you. Are the cookies in here? What the? Oh, that's a chair. There's meat in the freezer, apparently. Okay, I'm sorry. I'll go put the chair back. I'm sorry. It's kind of that a 4-hour drive from Indy Major City. Most people call it quaint. That sounds about right. Cookies. First let's get the milk. Is that milk? I guess that's milk. Ah, fantastic. Again, I gave my by a 15-year-old. This is kind of neat. Listen, when I was 15, it was the pop, amazing. Why is the cookie pickup sounds more like somebody's biting the cookie? Okay. Okay. Now I can hide and wait for him? Okay, where do I hide? Where can I hide? Besides the bathroom. There's no toilet. I mean, sorry, there is the toilet. There's no shower. Okay. Guess we're hiding under the table. Ooh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I saw somebody in the window. 3 minutes later. Again, this one's a very short game, if I remember correctly. I need to go to the bathroom. Okay. Do I get like... Okay, no, we just get sound effects. Because are we gonna get like Duke Nukem level pissed? Can I flush it? Oh god, it even changed color. Oh. Hello? I wasn't ready. Since I'm a little tired. I don't like that. I don't want to. Let me hide. I want to hide in the cabinet. Let me hide in the cabinet. I like that the clock actually changed. Hello? Is it the TV? Hi, Mr. TV. I can't believe I'm getting scared by a game made by a 15-year-old. No. Okay. Also, why did it take us 3 minutes to have to be able to go to the bathroom? Okay. The thing is, I can't pause this game either. Yeah, this game does not pause. Can't sprint. There's no sprinting. I can't hide. Now's not the time to hide? What do you mean now's not the time to hide? I don't know. Put more cookies? Okay. Okay, that one didn't scare me nearly as bad. I figured it was coming. Oh my god, he took my head. It's him I need to hide. Okay, so is that a cookies? I guess I need to put 4 back. He's calling through the door. How did I not notice that before? I'm trying. I need one more. Okay. This is such an obvious hiding spot. This is nuts. Oh, Jesus. What? It's munching right in my ears. What, did he leave for me? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, hi, Pickles. Oh, no. Okay. Okay, I guess. It's gonna be something heinous, isn't it? Pardon? Was it a dream? It was a dream, wasn't it? Oh my god, it was. And I pissed the bed! I pissed the bed! That it? I can't get up again? The end? Oh, great. No, Pickles, no! Okay. Okay, that was the second one. I still have 2 more, which I think is funny. This one seemed interesting. This next one's called Shelf Watcher. It's gonna blow my ears out again. I know it is. Okay, this one's not nearly as bad in terms of like menu music. There we go. There we go. That's my streamer. No! The good or bad ending. I think that's the good ending, because the bad ending is getting killed by Santa, apparently, with a saw. But this is Shelf Watcher. I don't remember how long this one is, but I want to say this one's another short one. This was another like Game Jam game. I don't remember for sure, but I think I need to put the elf on the shelf. Wait, did you say on fire or? I'm hungry. I should get some food from the fridge. Okay. I need to heat this up in the oven for, wait, what is this? Beans! I'm heating beans in the oven? This bitch eating beans! Time for bed. Where's my elf? Where's my elf? Who put this giant candy cane in my stocking? It's a candle. Hi, Mr. Elf. Need to put it back on his shelf. Going back to bed. Okay, good night. Okay. Excuse me, pardon me. Good night. Me and the homies up at 3 a.m. looking for beans! God, I wish I could figure out how to do that fucking... Is it bass boosted? What is that noise? It's me. I'm eating your snacks. Hey, elf. Oh. I knew this was gonna be shorter. Wait, that was funny. Okay, that was basic. That was basic. Listen, does it say... No, it doesn't say what specific jam it was for. How do I close you? Alt F4? Alt F4 it is. All right, and I don't know if this next one... Some of these are really short. I don't have money to throw around right now because I had to spend all my extra money on a car battery. So I had to stick with like the free ones. Actually, hold on. Let me double check something. Somebody was telling me that there's a puppet combo. There's a puppet combo Christmas game, isn't there? Christmas Massacre. Oh. Wait. Do we play as Santa? Okay, wait, this one's worth it. This one's worth it. Okay, yeah. Let me grab... I'm sorry, chat. I'm sorry, chat. We gotta get some things, okay? We gotta get some things and stuff. You know how it is. You know how it is. And then it's recommending me side again. You're really short. How dare you, Abby? How dare you? Just because I'm a Cheebs today doesn't mean I'm a Cheebs every day, Miss Ma'am. Miss Ma'am. Listen, you're the one who's stuck at one size, not me. Please and thank you. Hi, Hex. All right, hold on. I'm getting Christmas. Crimbus Massacre. As you do. As you do. Okay. This is getting short with us over short jokes. How could you? How dare you? Okay. Yeah, I can download those. That wouldn't take long at all. And then we still have one more game, though. We have reindeer games. I honestly don't know. I forget what this... I downloaded these yesterday, and now I don't remember the plot to a lot of them. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus, volume. Oh, Jesus, volume, please. Oh, God, why is it classic music? Why is it classic? There you go, chat. Now you get to hear the nightmare fuel that I'm hearing. In 2.0? In 2.0, is that what you're asking, Newell? 2.0 is 6'6". 2.0's monster form is 12 feet, but all of them are like size shifters. So, you know, shenanigans. If you've seen some of the art that Claude's done, then you've seen some stuff. Now we're good, Vita, please. Nope. Nope. I will turn it down a little bit. All right. Let me do settings real quick. The limit's fine. It's fine. Okay. Tell me your secrets. Correct, Krim. I know you're trying to make a joke here. I know you're trying to make a joke. driving in my itch.io game. Oh. Oh my god, that's a bird. Middle school choir teacher. It feels like it's coming directly through a, like an old gramophone. All right, so what are we doing? What is this, a reindeer farm? It looks like a reindeer farm. Smells like a reindeer farm. It's weirdly giving me classic vibes from like older games I used to play. Still smaller than me? Yeah, but you're still stuck at the one size, Miss Ma'am. Do I need to go get some of the art at like 100 plus? Although I do fucking love that comic that you showed earlier today. Supposed to start 3 hours. You're 3 hours late? It's bad enough that I pulled the short straw and have to work this close to Christmas, but there was no way I was going to miss that holiday special. Well, here now, it looks like this place survived without me. I'm supposed to finish at midnight, and I don't really want to stay late. So time to get started. You're 3 hours late, and you want to leave by midnight, sir. Usually a note near the computer to tell me what needs to be done. Oh, well, let's get this over with. Okay. Oh, wait. I don't know. Something feels... Shut up, bird. Hold on. Is there like an FOV or something? I think I'm going to slightly turn up the brightness. So, I'm going to turn off the head bob because that's going to give me a headache. And probably the filter effects. Yeah, that's a lot better. I just wish I could kind of change the FOV. Excuse me coming in. Oh, a lantern. Don't mind if I do. Zell, thank you for renewing your season pass. Welcome in. 30, Jesus, 3 years, dude. Survivability low, main character is too much of a type B personality. Oh my god. Wait, there's the finale. It's not done. That's even better. That's even better. Also, hold on a second. There we go. Okay. Oh, Jesus. Set your bag in the... Where do I set my bag? I don't think I was supposed to sit down yet. Where do I put my bag? Is that a fucking espresso machine? Oh. Okay. Excuse me. Instructions. Ugh, seriously? This is the long list. Let's see here. There's no way I'm getting all of these done. I'll just work my way through as many as I can. The boss will understand it's Christmas after all. I don't want to forget anything written here, so I'll take this note with me. Okay, because I can't read that note. Turn on computer. Current task. Finish some jobs. Update blog. Okay. Reindeer Center. Oh, I have to actually type. Ah, fantastic. I'm such a good writer. That'll do. Nobody reads this thing anyway. Boss really thinks this social media idea of his is going to take off. Oh no. Oh no, what year is it? I just don't see it. What is that black shadow? Is that a reindeer? It looks like the two back ends of a... That's not a reindeer. That's not a reindeer. That was super delayed. Wait, what was? The alert? He's gone. That strange elf creature's gone. Can I... Okay. Doesn't seem like I can... Oh, I can. Is that something standing in the road? Okay. Okay, looks like there's only 3 cameras. Boy, I wish I could read these phone boss. Damn. Boss is dead. Oh, hello, McKinsey residence. This is Mr. McKinsey speaking. Hey, it's me. Oh, is that so? Trouble at the center. Have old Barney's knees buckled again? I can get the tractor up there first thing in the morning? Oh, the reindeer? No, nothing like that. Old Barney's doing just fine. That's relief. I take it you've made fast work of those tasks I left you then? Of course, yes, yeah, absolutely. I've gotten all the work done. I've been here since 7 after all. I knew I could count on you. Well, if anything else comes up, I'll give you a ring and let you know. Was there anything else? Okay. So just Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas. Okay. I did take a lantern, but... Hello? Carrots. Fill feeder with hay, fill troughs with water, clear snow from path, update the website blog, put reindeer in stable, make weather report. Okay. Wait, what is this thing? Oh. These things are relatively calm today. I don't want this snow blowing up in my face. Okay, so we probably got to find more things like that, I'm guessing. And it does look like I can sprint, and there's no stamina bar. I wonder where I'll find the other weather things. Oh God, ad break. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay, let me do a couple things really quick. There we go. There we go. And I will give you... what will I give you for music? Back on the Christmas rock? You know what? Yes. I saw Mommy kissing Santa Claus. Amazing. All right. I'll be back in a couple minutes, guys. Okie dokie. Sorry about that, guys. Grandparents also brought cookies, so I yoinked a peanut butter cookie. They're crispy. Why are they always crispy? Why do old people always make crispy cookies? Gosh darn it. All right. I brought none for chat. There's not many. They didn't make a whole lot. And they're like those really crunchy ones. All right. Let's see if we can find... Wait, there's something this way. What is this way? Bird. An axe? Can I take the axe? I cannot. I can't tell what's in that box. Can't tell what that's supposed to be. A log? Okay, I feel like... So there's multiple logs out here. I wonder... I feel like something... What? A Christmas cracker out here? What goes ho 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 thump? Uh-oh. Santa laughing his head off? Oh. Okay. Okay, no, that's another log. That was just, it looked like an elf, like one of the little elves or something laying on the ground. Oh, there it is. Expecting this reading to be high, but this has got to be a record. Precipitation. Oh. This will need replacing by the looks of it. Luckily, I've noticed a couple of spares in the staff hut. Should replace it while the power to the Christmas lights is on. Okay. Do I only need one? Hello? Can I get y'all to go inside? Why can't I interact with you? Lycan and Mr. Antlers? Okay. This is fine. These reindeer are totally normal. Hi, Gertrude. Coco Bongo. Amazing. Good names. Very good names. Okay. Okay, you are following me. Up. You're not following me. Apparently, oh, I already have two on me. Okay. Stay. Okay. And there's you, Mrs. Antlers. Like there's got to be another one. Also, there's thermostat. Too cold for my liking. I'm not covered in fur. Nature's just crazy like that, I guess. Okay. Are we missing more? Question mark? All right, get in here. Okay, I'm missing some. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7? Where's number 8? This is not good. I better find this missing reindeer. Okay. Excuse me. I'm just gonna... Actually, I think I need... Yeah, I do need to take the hay. Enclosure trough is not this one. It's this one. This is the one that I have to put the hay in, isn't it? Okay. Neat. So... I can't. I can only carry one hay bale. Christmas Hitch.io games is horrendous. I hope you get more luck. I think these are older ones, but we are probably going to try to play Christmas Massacre after this. which I think will be fun because somebody was actually telling me yesterday about it. Here's the reindeer. Oh no, that's like a fucking cutout of reindeer. Okay. Troughs with water. Where do we get the water? Where do we get water? I find like a hose or something? Oh, there's a well here. It's stuck. Looks like snow's blocking it. All right, hold on. I think we need to go... Yeah, we need to go back. Go back. Turn in the report. Maybe find a shovel. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Another Christmas cracker? Is this joke gonna be the same? Who hides in a bakery at Christmas? A mince pie? As opposed to a mince pie? Ha 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 ha. No. Okay, so we got that. Hello? Hello? Was that Jingle Bells? Was that on the phone? What was that? Weird. Okay, hold on. Coco's in this room, so I gotta let her out. Okay. I'm sorry about all the interruptions, guys. I'm sorry. All right, let's... Is there anything else we can get in here? Cappuccino machine. I picked up that lantern, but I still haven't been able to do anything with... See, like... Leaf blower. Can I... A picture of a leaf blower. All right, let's fix this. I wonder where this other reindeer is going to be. Let's fix the light. Enjoy your lurk. Bzz. No, thank you. I'll turn the power off first. That doesn't sound like a good idea. These are also just candy canes, my dude. You've turned them on, you turn them off. Uh-oh. Another one? Another one. How does a penguin build its house? It glues it together. I feel like I'm not going to be able to turn the power back on if I turn it off. Building power, festive switch, floodlights. Festive switch. Hi! Buddy? You look like you've got your hands full there. We'll have a wee chat when you're a little less busy. What are you up to, mysterious stranger? Trying to kill you with dad jokes? No, it seems more like we saw like an elf on the security cameras, so we don't exactly know what the problem is yet. I think this one was the busted one. Okay. Job well done, though it's hard to tell without power. Uh-oh. Oh, wait, is time skipping ahead? Oh, it is. That's kind of interesting. It's really chilly tonight. My hands are going numb. I know there's a lot to get done, but I might need to grab a quick break. I could really do with a nice hot drink. No, fuck you. Turn the power back on. All right, can I talk to you now? Hello there. You work here, I take it. Excellent. You may be able to help me. I can sure try. Well, as I'm sure you're aware, there's been a number of big cat sightings locally. Perhaps you've even seen something you can't explain scaring about lately. Well, there's always a lot of wildlife around. But nothing like these cats, I can assure you. They're truly unique, wee creatures. Was that elf on the shelf? If he was, then there's a spy. It needs to be dealt with before they can report back. Get the gun. I've been tracking them for years. In fact, it's fair to say that I'm something of a big deal in the community. You've probably heard of me. My name is George Munson. Munson. Sorry, doesn't ring a bell. Well, never mind. I'm here to check the footage on the trail cam I set up yesterday. But, well, I don't suppose you'd be willing to come with me? I'm not scared being out there alone or anything. Of course not. It sure is spooky out here, though, isn't it? You come with me? Not right now, actually. If you change your mind, come and speak to me. Okay, we got jobs to do, though. We got things to do, things and stuff. But I still need to figure out how to do the water. Oh, the well, duh. But there's all this snow, and we haven't found, like, a shovel or anything. I don't think. Doesn't seem like I can... Oh. Do I really just have to click this repeatedly? Because that's what I'm doing. I was just spam clicking. Water noises. Spam click again. Spam click again. A bucket of water. Bucket of water. Pardon me, excuse me. I have to go the long way around, please and thank you. Also, was it snowing earlier? Oh god, is my prediction about having to do the, what was it? Oh god. Oh no. Oh no, this is gonna be so much back and forth. It looks like it's gonna be like 5 to fill 1 trough. Oh, 2 troughs. Okay, so maybe it'll take like 4 total. Oh god. Oh god, why did you do this to me? Why did you do this to me? I feel like something else is gonna come up out of the well at one of these points. Please and thank you. I'm guessing though this is also the snow that I need to move. I just don't know how to move it just yet. You know, as you do. Chat, are you okay? Are you afraid of the Crimbus? The Chrysler? Okay, yeah. So, I think I'm gonna do this 2 more times for the one that's inside the barn. Which one do you think is going to be the really weird, if at all, if any of the water in the well is going to be weird? Do you think it's going to be this one, or do you think it's going to be the second to last, or the last one? The second to last or the last one? Come on. I'm a Crimbus. You're a what? You're a Crimbus? Become Crimbus, I guess. What was it? Become Avatar of Crimbus. Chrysler? Crisis. Oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Gingerbread cookies. Another cracker. Hello. Christmas cracker. Tell me your jokes. Why are Christmas trees so bad at knitting? Because they always drop their needles? Boo! Anyway. Has someone killed the gingerbreads? Apparently. Okay. 1 more bucket. This would be so much easier if I had already opened that gate, but I still haven't been able to find, what do you call it? The, any way to shovel it? Like, I figured the leaf blower, like, maybe 1. But it doesn't let me pick up the leaf blower. Give me back my bucket. Okay. We gotta make sure the reindeer have enough water for the night. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Nothing to worry about. Totally nothing unusual here. Totally nothing unusual here. Pretty sure. Pretty sure. We're gonna pretend like we didn't see that. That was nothing. That was nothing unusual. Nothing. This is nothing. Wait, what? Excuse me. Okay, what do we got? Clear snow from path. Put rain. Oh, I couldn't find the other one. Make weather report. Okay, we can do the weather report. Hello? Logs for sale. Oh, okay. Isn't this my car? Where did you come from? Where's your car? It's fine. We're just gonna go in here, and we'll. Oh. That's not an elf. Oh. Oh God, they just keep. Oh. Oh, I don't like that. Leaf blower. Now I can fucking take the leaf blower down. Okay. Sir, help me. Okay, and then it's just... Wait, is the power flicked right now? Is that why it's flickering? Hello? Hello? Okay. I think we're fine. I think we're fine. I think this is totally fine. No reason for concern. Definitely not the like weird flesh-faced elf people that are running around the premises. Take your carols and be gone. Fuck yeah. Microsoft Excel, baby. Microsoft Excel sure does get wetter and wilder every year, huh? Reindeer seem to enjoy it at least. Okay. Okay, bye. Okay, so now I know you. Come here. Dog? Hello? Heard a dog bark. Okay. You know what? This isn't so bad. Okay, this is a pretty intuitive way to blow this away for what it is. I'd hate to tell you though, using a leaf blower on a snow pile doesn't usually work that well. Boy, I hope I don't find a corpse under any of these snow drifts. Okay. Hey, buddy. Get your ass back here. My shift is over. I'm sure I could have got more done, but I'm no miracle worker. Perfect is the enemy of good, as they say. Wait, it's past midnight. That means it's officially Christmas Day. Merry Christmas at all. Really? Really? Who said that to? For more of an echo? Sorry for yelling, old Barney. Wait, I don't think we found old Barney. Oh, Jesus. They're fucking everywhere. They're everywhere! But I didn't fit. What is that? What is that? Hello? Rudolph. Rudolph. Rudolph, was that you? I don't want to play reindeer games, Rudolph. And Mountain still won't give me uppies. I've given you uppies before, Ganon. You act like I've never done it. I don't like the whistling sound that this game is making. Okay. I'm gonna just... I guess we're just... get in your car and go home. Okay, bye. Okay, bye. We're just gonna... Okay, bye. Those fucking elves took my carburetor. Oh! Hi. Okay. Carburetor now? No, Ganon, no, I needed that! Ganon, no, I needed that! The car sputtered and the engine died. A sinking terror of being trapped inside. The air felt still as the elves drew near. Excitement hung with a sense of fear. Their circle formed and the plan complete. You hear a giggle from the back seat. Turning in dread, fate's shadows cast. This Merry Christmas would be your last. There's 3 endings? Holy shit. Wait. What is... So there's all these symbols across the bottom. Okay, so we would have got something if we did... I guess had like the break, had like the coffee. I can't tell what the symbol is here. I called in backup. No! Not the weird little horror elves. Oh god, do we try again? Do we try to go for a different ending? So I guess we need to talk with that guy. I still wonder what this thing is supposed to be. It looks weirdly like the well. Or... oh, no, it's the deer. Put the deer in the stable, but we didn't find the last deer for some reason. Let's do it again. Let's do it again. Just really quick. We're going to speed run. We're going to see if like maybe like if we do it the first time, maybe all the deer are there. And maybe it won't be so hard. Can't believe the elves sabotaged the car. Ganon put them up to it. I knew Ganon was going to do something like this. We'll also check the gift after this. We'll see what the gift is if we get to that moment. Rather than actually just running past the gift. Oh, I can hold the skip. Okay, fuck this. Okay. Okay. You being 3 hours late is such a dick move, dude. Okay. Fuck you, bird. Yo, it's my partner. I still don't know where this lantern's supposed to be used, but okay. Bag down. Pewter. Get all our tasks. Okay. Use the pewter. Update blog. All that social media nonsense is so easy. I've been nodding all year. That is correct. Do you know who I am? Do you know who I am? Of course I'm on the naughty list. Okay. Don't need to do any of these things. I swear there's got to be like a mug. Oh, there's a mug. Okay, guess I can't pick that up until he wants to do the break thing. Oh. Why do I hear a dog? Okay. And try to see if we can do all the deer if they're here. Come on, Keith. Okay. Hi, Mr. Antlers. Hi, Gertrude. Come on. Oh, there's only 3 again. So we are still missing one. We just need to find him. Okay. Get in here. Oh, wait, maybe not. Okay, no. Maybe I only brought 1 in for a second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. I only have 7. And then you can, oh, there it is. Yeah, 7. Can't find number 8. Missing a reindeer, obvious. Okay. Can I crouch under here? Oh, yeah, I can. Neat. I'll take you back to Santa's workshop, Shorty. Me? How dare you? I'm not an elf. My ears are round. Please and thank you. Please and thank you. Okay, hold on. Let's go. Nothing there. We'll look at this real quick. Do that. That guy's not here yet. Let's turn off the power briefly. The festive switch. Grab this cracker, apparently. This is the same joke. Okay, yeah, this is the bakery one. Excuse me, we're just gonna, you know, kind of ignore that a little bit. Just gonna keep schmooving and grooving as you were. Yes, what can I do with for you, Ivory? What's up? Okay. You're not getting me this time. Okay. Okay. That one's fine. That guy's still not here. We need to find this other reindeer. Where are you? I wonder, can I look at this from the other side? No, I can't. Okay. Oh, hey. Oh. This one we hadn't seen. Why do penguins stay in pairs? Freezer crowd. Oh, hey. Hi, Barney. Oh, I saw that. I saw you, bitch ass. I saw you, bitch. Stop it! We're all already here. Are you creepy little elves already here? Okay. Barney? Barney? Oh, right, you're slow. You're the old man. Just a nice little old man. All right, get in here, Barney. Okay. What was that? What was that? And then I'm gonna go grab the leaf blower. They just want uppies? Well, too bad. Why do I keep hearing a dog? Okay, that guy's hands are going numb. Okay, so there's the coffee thing. So let's do the coffee thing real quick. Give coffee mug. Please and thank you. Please don't be in the windows. Please don't be in the windows. Be bumbled onto the marinade stand. They said to the stream of running the stand, hey, got any wiggles? Hey there, stranger. just gonna keep slurping, you know, as you do. As you do. Why? That's maybe it's not supposed to be a dog. I don't know what that sound's supposed to be though. All right, mysterious stranger. All right, click through your conversation and then I will go help you find your trail camera. I'm not answering that phone. I'm not answering the phone. I wonder who this mysterious man could possibly be. Oh, he didn't react to that. Gingerbread. The gingerbread's back. I wonder why there were so many more mystery actions. Maybe there's a bunch of stuff we can do with this guy. Oh, there's the camera. George Munson. Here it is. I'll just have a little flick through the footage and see if I caught anything walking past. Seems like it got set off a few times by the snow. No, it doesn't look like I... Huh? I don't believe it. It's a big cat. You can see it clear as day. What an incredible photo. Oh my god, it must be the size of a black Labrador. Look, I'll show you. That's an elf. That's one of the elves. You see, it's up on its wee hind legs. Looks like it's pouncing at something. Perhaps leave my camera here for another night. It would be a fantastic Christmas present to the community if I could present more proof. I wonder if I could ask for your help one more time. We need to place some bait around to encourage it to come back. Luckily, I've got just the stuff. Here, help me spread it around. Chicken! Fried chicken. Let's go, baby. Let's go. That also, weirdly enough, it looks like Popeye's fried chicken. Cats love this stuff. Come on, we can drop it around on the floor in a few different locations. They'll come for it, I promise you. Oh, oh. Okay, I'm just gonna kind of like, you know, spread it out. All that jazz. All that jazz. What about like these logs or something? Just put another one like, I don't know, like over here. The last one like here. There we go. That's great. I'll have to come by in the morning and check it out. Thank you for your help. I keep thinking I hear something out here with us. I thought I saw something prowling about. I'm going to head back to the van and have a cup of tea before my thermos gets cold. Thanks again. My shift is over. Ganon! How could you? How could you? Okay, this is just... Jesus! Why did that scare me so much? Who did that? Ivory. Oh my god, him going to like yell and just fucking getting me. Y'all better fucking clip that. Oh my god. Sorry for yelling, Barty. I better get going. Okay. I still feel like I'm supposed to be able to do something with like this box or maybe these logs. Like, that other one acted like I could pick it up. Oh, well. I also don't see any elves. Because last time, though, they were, like, everywhere. At, like, every corner at this point. I wonder if maybe it's because we didn't... Hello? Anyway. Animal tracks. Okay. Can I... Oh, I literally can't do anything else except take my bag. Okay, excuse me. Oh my god, a present. A present for me. Okay. Somebody clearly left this here for me. It'd be rude not to. They're gonna jump out of it. They're gonna jump out of it. An 8-ball. Uh-oh. Ganon? Ganon, what did you do? What have you done, Ganon? Had these on the top 100 Christmas gifts. Amazing. Another present. Oh boy. I like presents. A Nerf gun. Oh boy, my favorite. Another present. Does 8-ball know what I did? A Rubik's Cube. Oh boy. Another one. Oh boy. Oh, piece of candy. Oh, piece of candy. Oh, piece of... Hi, Lady Ace. It's a Tamagotchi. Yes. Present. I don't know what this is. A cube? Another one. Pre-scrambled. Hi, Yuma. A troll doll. Uh-oh. The door's broken. Dear, are you okay? What on earth? The door's broken. When did this happen? It looks like it was ripped apart. Go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It just says open the present still, but I don't... I have an idea. Oh, it's right here. Present. What are you up to, Emot? Unsolved Rubik's Cube. That don't look good. I don't know what it is, but it doesn't look good. There's a shocking lack of elves about. Goosebumps! Oh my goodness, it's a puppet one too. Was that a chocolate? No, it looked more like a weird like capsule and had like liquid inside of it or something. Cole! Oh, I've been bad. Aw, Cole. I was getting so many cool things. At least I can go home now. I'm sure there's not going to be anything horrifying behind me when I turn around. Yep, that's what I thought. Fantastic. Yeah. Tired of catching up on sleep? Well, I hope you got plenty of sleep. Also, hi, Koga. How are you doing? Snow. Presents among the presents. Beneath the stable, cold and still, a haunting tale of festive thrill. All through the night that was nearly done, you opened presents one by one. But then the joy turned into fright, for something darker filled the night. The elves so merry appeared with glee, their laughter twisted despite your plea. Okay. Everything else is probably something that's like a very small kind of like minute thing. But I think I'm quite satisfied with just getting the main two endings. That's a neat game. That was actually a really neat game. All right. Do we want to do Christmas Massacre? Because I don't think we're going to get another chance this year to play it. Yeah, we're going to play it. We're going to play it. I'm also going to change the category for it. Christmas. Oh. Ow. Loud noises. Loud noises. Crimble Mass. Crimble Mass. Are you going to give me hectic? What did I do? What did I do? Was that a chocolate? No. No, it was not. No, it was not. Okay, 1 second. I do need to change the audio again. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Way up at the top. Okay. Hold on. Third person's fine. Difficulty normal. Wait, give me that. Ah, this will do. But hold on. Doesn't look like the audio changed. So let me try closing it and reopening it. Whew. Play all the Christmas games. Them's the rules. Okay, there we go. All right. Training. Do I need training or do I just need to kill? I think we just need to just go gung-ho. I think we just need to go gung-ho. Also, hi, Phaedric. Oh, hi! Larry, you're not allowed to come to the Christmas party. I'm sending you to bed right now. No, you ain't going to bed. It's only 6 p.m. Actually, it's almost 7 p.m. Oh my god, we're naked. Shadow. Change your costume by pressing V. Can't change the costumes here. Can I go to my room and change costumes? Darn. Okay, so we gotta go find a knife. No. This is not the kitchen. No. Okay, hold on. Christ. None, please. Because Jesus Christ, my ears. Gotta restart 50 times for things to work. Sometimes it does that. Is that better? That feels a lot better. Okay. 2F? Is this just... Oh, this is the bathroom. Can I check the bathroom? No, I can't. Kitchen? Upstairs. Kitchen. Hello? 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 I think I'm supposed to be here. I don't think I'm supposed to be here. I must find the kitchen. I must find the kitchen. This is the floor we were on. Maybe going up will help. 2E. Nuns only past this point. Hello. Hi. Okay, it sounds like there's a nun in there, so... Would the kitchen become the nun floor? Bedroom. Bedroom. Okay, it seems like this is just... Ooh, what are you? A doll? Don't mind if I do. Hello. I can't see shit. Okay. Another stairwell? What's down here? Oh. Oh. Uh-oh. Darkness? Darkness? Hello? So this should be... Yeah, this is the floor I came out on. Honestly, I would have figured the kitchen was going to be on the first floor. Maybe it is, but I'm still going to go up one more. Oh, wait. Okay, so this is the nurse's one. Okay, so I'm going to guess it's probably like say shit. So it does have like a dark mode when I'm like actually standing in pure darkness, but other than that, it does not give me the like change. Okay. Why are you tidy whities? I guess that's all the clothes they gave me? Question mark. There's also more of these rooms, which is curious. So we're gonna go down to the very first floor. It looks like our only option is to go. We probably need to like sneak through the party. Can I? Oh, I can't crouch. God, I'm a little creature. Look at me go. Okay, what is this? Nothing. Excuse me, sister. I just need to, This looks like a kitchen. Ah, yes, fantastic. Knife collected. Okay. Let me think about what I need to do here. I think I know what I need to do. But I don't know if I have the strength to do it, chat. Can I just, yeah! Come here! Get over here, the rest of yous! Get over here, the rest of yous! Where you running? Where you running? Come here. Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Hello? Oh, got spotted again? Okay. Where's the other one? Hello, darkness. Alright, up one more floor. Hello. I think there's only one more nun, and I think she's... Kill all the school children. Fantastic. Why is the elf on the shelf naked? Oh no. Okay, tutorial level done. Maybe now we'll have clothes. Also, thank you for self-care. Oh my god, I'm still naked. And I still don't have any clothes. Oh boy. Oh hey, How do I talk? Hello? Oh wait, is this reverse? Can I reverse time? Amazing. Hold on, what's the interact? F?
Listen, Larry, I was thinking, a lot of people have been naughty this year. I need you to go out and kill.
Yes, sir, Mr. Christmas Tree.
You must kill.
Okay.
Kill.
That sounds very Christmas spirit of me. Was the whole game for a second? No. That was just the intro. Okay, Mr. Christmas Tree. Excellent. Drive? No, we don't want to drive just yet. I want other clothes. I want other clothes. I can't change here. Is there somewhere else I can go change? Like in my heinous basement? Can I please stop walking around in tidy whities wearing a Santa mask? Alright, I guess I gotta go drive. Unless there's stuff upstairs, because I'm nosy. This game does have like a weird look. Oh, I see a doll. Nice. It seems like there's only 8 dolls in the whole game. Not gonna judge that. Just gonna keep going. Is the new fashion? Aw, but that doesn't sound nearly as fun. Okay. December 20. Oh, we have clothes. Okay, fantastic. Okay, do I have like a weapon of choice? Do I need to like sneak around the house? Because like left click doesn't seem to be doing anything. Enter. Actually, hold on. I want to double check. I'm gonna double check. We're going around the whole place. We're going around the whole place. Snooping, snooping, snooping. Okay. Oh, how nice of him to just leave a knife out for me. Now, if I remember correctly, I think I've seen Indy play this game. Oh. What are you wearing, sir? What are those pants? Ooh, okay. What are these dance moves? Where's the light switch in here? All the locally sourced free-range knives. Yeah, we don't bring our own in this household, okay? This is not BYOK. Looks like they actually both turn around at the same time, so yeah. Yay! I'm so good at this. Aw, D. Oh, man, I guess I gotta go fast. Oh. Wait a second. What was that? Okay. Oh, hi. You get nothing. Good day. No. You never stood a chance against the Larry. Okay. Oh, hi. Okay. 35 seconds. Jesus. Wait, how fast do they expect me to do this? Wait, where am I? Am I back home? Yeah, I'm back home.
Good job, Larry. But you know your work is never done. More must die.
Okay. Okay, can I go like, can I go to bed, or like what's the whole shebang here? Oh wait, there's a door here. Blue. Oh, this is the basement, isn't it? I don't like the crazy distorted Oh Holy Night. Oh no, it's Silent Night. It's Silent Night. I must sleep. Yes, strange floating letters in my mind. Speedrun stabs? Apparently it wasn't fast enough. I wonder what the intended speed of this game is. Al's drugs. Yo, Al Capone back at it again? Man. I don't know why the front door looks like that. Okay. So maybe we need to sneak in the back. Probably. Mary Chrysler, hi, furry. Okay, I was right. The door is back here. Excuse me. I don't like how distorted it gets when you walk closer. Oh, hey. Hey, there's a doll in here. That went well. Yeah, no security guards here. Hold on. What is this? Can I? Oh, I can. Okay. Oh, there's a person there. I dropped all my weed. Santa? I'm sorry, Santa. I had to do what I had to do. Why does she screech like a monkey? Okay. Yes. More. Oh, come on. So bad at this. Why are you so bad at this? Crimble Bimble. Hi, Fairbonks. Stab during the ads. Oh shit, the ads are going. I do need to run to the bathroom too. It's okay. We're only a minute in. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I gotta run to the bathroom. I'll be back in a couple minutes, guys. Stay out of trouble. Don't burn anything down. Good luck, kiddos. Okie dokie. We still have a little bit, a few seconds. A few seconds. Bring the music back down. All right. We are good. Welcome back from the ad break, guys. Let me tuck you away. Okay. And then video format. Oh. Oh, Jesus. I'm gonna go with none. Maybe it'll look. Oh my God. Do I need to talk to the tree?
Good job, Larry.
Thank you, Mr. Tree. Thank you.
I caught a teenager on the store.
What's wrong, Faye? What's wrong? Andy cat. Ooh, hot fries. Caught a teenager while you were gone? Locked him in the other room? You what? I what? In what room? Larry, how did you... Tree, how did you catch... What? How did you catch a teenager? You're a tree. Okay. I don't think I'm gonna use that one. What other room, Larry? Or not Larry, Tree, I'm Larry. What other room did you lock him in? He's probably in the basement then. Okay, we gotta go into basement. We gotta go into basement. Basement. This was the bathroom entrance. So basement was over here. I think that went great. Machine Needle Windifer phase. I'm alright. Just to sit here for a minute. Yeah, that's something to sit. Are you okay? Can I talk to you? Doesn't look like I can talk to you. Do I need to go to sleep? It's bedtime now. Is it extra sleepy? Yeah, okay, it's sleep time. Fire tots. Good night. Good night, Larry. Good night, Moon. Where are we going? Where are we going? Wait, is this the same house we came to before? No. I think this one's slightly different. Is it? There's no light switch for this room, apparently. The lights are just always on. I missed one. I missed him. Oh, they changed. I didn't realize that. No piercing speedruns. More frazzled than anything. It's that moment where you're just like, oh, that could have been bad. That could have been real bad. Okay, let's try going the other direction. City Hall, East Willard. Okay, so there's always two dancing here. Okay. Still no light switch in here. So there's only these two left. So killer party, man. Yeah, totally. Now, if you excuse me. Stamp, 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 stamp. Fantastic. Now, if you excuse me, I'm just gonna go for a walk right back this way. Hello? Oh, there we go. Oh, no, it's the other door. Okay, my bad. My bad. My bad. We're going out the front door. Excuse me. Time to break up the tactical nuke, though. What? Oh, God. Two of them right here. Whew. Anyway. Get your ass back here. Damn it. Damn it. Okay. Oh. Oh, he walks between rooms. Okay. I'm glad that nobody is, like, catching on to the screams. Oh, damn it. You didn't see nothing. Get your ass back here. Ooh. As you turn around. As you turn around. Go back the other direction. Now, come here. Oh my God, there's so many of y'all. Come here. Come here. Don't you fuck this for me. Don't you fuck this for me. Oh. Okay, I heard the theater level is the worst because of RNG. Really? Unlock throwing knives, press space to throw. Oh no. Interesting. Okay, that may be useful. If it's a one hit, that's exceptionally useful.
Good job, Larry. Listen, Larry, you can kill by throwing your knife.
Oh, I can throw the knife
Just
itself?
aim and press the space bar. You have to kill Larry. Kill them all. Kill, kill, kill.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna go to bed. I'm gonna go to bed, Mr. Tree, and we'll do it again in the morning. I'll do you proud, I promise. Burn that tree. It's a tree. Anybody know how many levels there are to this game? Off the top of their head? I'm also kind of half looking for like dolls because I feel like I haven't seen one in a couple levels. Hello. Oh. Just this stray warehouse. Hmm. There's the doll. Oh god, is he in a GIMP outfit? Oh, good lord. I think we'll have to do it this way. Okay. That's hilarious. That's Mora. Wait, what do you want about? What, Doom? What was the question? Did you have a question? Okay, this is the way. Oh shit! Come back here. Where'd she go? Oh, she got away. Come here. Ah, damn it. That's fine. Damn it. Damn it, damn it, damn it. Hold on. What's upstairs? Is there anything upstairs? Nothing's upstairs. Okay, it's all down here. Excuse me, we're just gonna do a little bit of creeping here. I wonder, let me try this really quick. Oh. Oh, hi. Looks like I got the doll no matter what. Hey guys, come here. Okay, is anybody back here? Okay, I'm in the dark, so I don't think they'll see me. Whew, okay. Nailed it. Nailed it. Okay, so the throwing knives are seemingly quite effective. I wonder where I'm missing somebody. Where did I come in? Oh, what's this? Oh, interesting. Okay. Oh. Okay, no, this is where we came in. Then we went right. Ooh. Okay. Oh. Okay, that's a little strong. Okay, so we're still missing somebody. Where are you? Now drink water? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You got it, boss. Okay. Who am I missing? Missing someone. No secret, no door hidden in the darkness, it looks like. Oh god, they're steaming. I don't like that they're steaming. This is taking This is the longest one, I think. I can't find anyone? What am I missing? You think it glitched, maybe? Like, oh. Okay. Oh, it looks like we're exiting back out the stairs. Poor way. Yeah, we'll turn the lights on there. Thank you. I can't see otherwise. Okay, that one took a long time. That one took a long time. Okay. This is just apparently just all D's all the way around. Did somebody just... What am I missing? How am I missing? Okay, hold on. What's the restart level button? Doll mode. F2. Okay. That's my own bad. I wonder if she turned around. Why can't I hit her? What the fuck? That door just spawned out of nowhere? Alright, we gotta do this a different way. Jesus. How am I supposed to get this many people? Also, why is the piano man in a gimp suit? I close the door. Oh, okay, somebody's leaving. But this isn't the theater one you were talking about, is it? That somebody was talking about? Hello? 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 Is the rest just a maze? Kinda feels like it. Oh, behind the stage. Oh, hey, a doll. Nice. Does it do anything? Doesn't look like it. I'm not sure what to do with this one. Do I just have to go nuts, I think? Let's do it. Get your ass back here. Every one of yous. Every one of yous. Oh, wait. Are they coming this way? Whew, okay. Nailed it. Nailed it, apparently. Somehow that was a success. Oh, wait. What is this? Oh. Minor costume. Yo. I don't know. I kind of want to stick with Santa because it's on theme for today. Okay. Hi, Azzy. How are you doing? Everyone else in that suit, Mare doesn't bat an eye when it's the one playing the piano. I pointed it out. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Hello, evil spirits? Yeah. That doesn't seem good. Let me just go downstairs, I guess. Ah, yes. The body. Okay. Where'd my tree? Where did my presents go? Oh. Oh. Grandma? Grandma? Grandma, was that you? Okay. Oh, here's the theater. 3 big triple X hits. Best porn in NYC. French nympho girls, sexual pleasures, indecent affairs. $2.99. New policy? New policy, something, something, something. Okay. We probably have to go around the back, I'm guessing. Oh, goodness. Oh, not this way. Come on. Where's your secrets? Can I go back here? Yeah. Through the maze of buildings, round the back corner. To Grandma's house we go. Oh, good Lord. Everything to find a back entrance, apparently. Okay. Oof. Okay. Oh, I hear somebody in there. Okay, that went well. That was fine. I think that went great. Oh my God, Larry, go. Oh, hey, sir. Mr. Way down the hall. Hiya! Did it land right next to him? Okay, there we go. Okay. Can I? No, I can't turn them off. That kind of sucks a little bit. Actually, hold on. We go theater by theater. Okay, excuse me. Pardon me. Just gonna... Oh, what? Oh, shit. Wait, who saw that? Who saw that? What? Oh, security probably, right? Excuse me then. They're just gonna keep moving right along here. Being stabbed is not an excuse. What do you mean? Oh, good Lord. Okay, I don't think I can get that one just yet. Is there a... Okay, there's the light switch. Gotcha, bitch. Okay. Now... I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go see if there's a security room. Wait, I was spotted. Okay, apparently throwing that knife cut her in half, which is kind of funny. Okay. So it looks like there's actually only 3. Yeah, it looks like there's only 3 ways here. Okay, I have a plan. Okay, there's nobody down there. A corpse was found? What do you mean a corpse was found? How was a corpse found? Come here. Bitch, 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 bitch. Okay. Listen, apparently there is unlimited ammo and you can really just spam it, so it's kind of funny. Can I actually walk through these doors? Or this is the exit? This is the exit. Okay, so we're missing something. Where are you? Did I miss somebody in the theater? No, they all did. I think he might gonna be like tucked around. Okay. Also, what is this? Search party. Silent Night, Bloody Night. Wait a minute. Isn't that the name of... Is that an actual movie? A few extra knives in just to confirm? Yeah. Okay. Who could I be missing? Oh. Come here. You gotta come down here. You gotta come to me. Bitch. Clear level with just throwing knives? Amazing. Thanks for the achievement. Okay. I hear a phone ringing. But I heard a phone ringing for a second. Garbage. Yeah, that is. That's because I know, I'm pretty sure Grimm is actually going to be watching that exact movie. Come Christmas Day, Wednesday. Hello? The voices? Are those the fly noises? Corpses. Corpses. Is it bedtime? I miss my Christmas tree. I miss my Christmas tree. Hello? Hi, Grandma. Oh. You're going to Verge Death Lair? No! No! Out the window! Out the window! Knife, 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 knife. Oh. Okay, I'm fine. Totally fine. Nothing to worry about. Excuse me, I'm just gonna go have a little psycho nap if you need me. Did someone steal our tree? I'm a very large child, apparently. Steal knife? I can't steal knife. Hi, Larry. Excuse me, pardon me. Nice night, Larry. Uh-oh. This is going great. Oh no, you don't get to Blair Witch me. Oh wait, is there more? Is there more back here? Doll, yes. Oh. Anyway. I'm not giving a presentation in this room, please and thank you. Oh. Into the abyss. Hello? Hello? You took my knife. You took my knife. How could you? Oh god, not the tetanus. Not the tetanus. Sorry, the tinnitus, not tetanus. Tinnitus. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Are you naked? I don't know. I don't know, Impy. Good morning. Christmas tree? Christmas tree. How you doing there, bud? You okay? You need me to do something? Now we've tetanus. Now that's probably true looking at this bed frame. Can I?
Sleep, Larry.
You can't sleep. You're a tree.
I need to tell you something. But first, you must kill. Go back to where everything started and kill. Burn down the school.
Oh, I'm going back to the... It's Jover. It's Jover. I know what I must... I am naked. Also, what is happening with, like, the warping stuff? Okay, where are we going? The school. Burn them all? Do I burn, like, the outside? Or do I, like, what do I do here? God, that hose. Okay, that doesn't seem to be doing anything. Maybe it's around another side. This is what must be done. It's okay. It's okay. We got the Flammenwerfer. We're gonna werf so many Flammens. Come on, you gotta show me. Oh, oh, there's a light. I see a light. Ah, yes, perfect. Let me in. Oh, okay, this is the basement. That's where there like wasn't an exit before. Hello, boys. Oh, I have health. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, excuse me. That's fine. That's fine. Okay. I think what I'm gonna do... Let's do this first. I have a plan. I have a plan. Okay. This is morbid. Okay. Oh, why do these kids get the bigger room? Okay, we're gonna do... This is my strategy. We're gonna do... some stabby stabs. And then we'll light the place on fire. The music for this is really intense for some reason. What the fuck was that sound? I'm also looking for dolls to see if there's any of those collectibles. Oh. Now get back here. Anyway. Boarding school from Nun Massacre. That's what I figured. Hi, Mother Superior. Excuse me. Okay. That's 3 nuns down. I don't think there's actually going to be... I think that's going to be all of them. Okay. Exit. Hold on. No, doesn't look like there's extra doors here. Let me go up from here and see where it goes. Nowhere. Okay. I'm gonna assume that that's probably actually everyone. So you know what that means? Excuse me, pardon me. Just gonna... Oh, I set myself on fire again. How do I put myself out? Okay, my health is going back up. Now, is the fire still going? Does the fire... Oh. Wait, there are people still in there? Oh, okay. Huh. Down here? It's all the way down here? Oh, no. Okay, the regular... Excuse me. Reminds me a bit of Party Hard. The sausage link flamethrower? Yeah. Okay. We're doing terrible at this. We're technically finishing... Wait, where are we? We got more Flammens to werf? Okay, this is a part that we weren't in at the beginning. Excuse me, pardon. Hi, Mother Superior. Okay. Why is it when the nuns have their like outfit on, they're so fucking tall? They're so tall. Okay. Oh shit. Get your ass back here. Come here. Oh my god. Larry, take turns better. You're being outrun by a nun. God damn it. Larry! You take turns like a fucking tricycle. Always gotta check. Always gotta make sure. Oh, god damn it. Oh my god. Fuck, Jesus. So you gotta fucking, like, the corners here are so tight and Larry fucking swerves like he's a goddamn motorized tricycle. Excuse me. Oh my god. Amazing. Huh? I could have sworn I was caught by somebody on this floor, wasn't I? Oh my god. Why is there? Where are you coming from? Where do they come from? Do they come up the stairs? They come down the stairs, don't they? Okay. Somebody's wandering. That has to be what it is. What your kids doing? What your kids doing? Oh, fuck. That's a fail. Oh my god. I could set them all on fire, I guess. Let's do that. Excuse me, pardon me. Just gonna light you all ablaze while I burn myself to death, apparently. Oh, they got out. Apparently I didn't get all of them. Well, damn. They fucking react so quickly. Why is that vent doing that? I can't see shit. I can't see shit. I can't see shit. I think that was another fail. I don't think I'd lit them all ablaze. Instead, I killed myself with it. That's fine. We'll go back to doing it this way. At least now I know that there is a nun. So we'll go back to doing this. So we'll get the nuns. Say, and then she should be facing. Got her. I saw that shadow. I saw that shadow. Okay. So, I have an idea. Okay. Remember, kids, this is why you don't stay up all night. This is why you don't have like little wild parties, you know, stuff that makes Larry upset. Okay. A hospital? I was gonna say, all you gotta do is just kind of like... Sorry, I had to. Oh, there's another one. Okay. Anybody else find these red nuns a little ominous? She's pacing. Oh, I thought I was gonna fuck that one. Oh, what? Shit, come here. Whew. Whew, didn't want to blow it on that last one. Okay, where are we going? Looks like we're going up. Actually, check the closet. This is important. Okay, nothing. Darn it. I can't see shit. Okay, nothing in this closet either. Oh. Oh. Okay. Boy, I hope that renders in this time. Well, shit. It looks like it's on the other end anyway, so let's just go over there. Is this a metaphor for losing my mind? Broke the game. Typical shenanigans. Listen. It wouldn't be me playing a indie game if I didn't break it some way. Hi, Jess. Okay. Oh god, there's more? Jesus. Fantastic. Darkness. Darkness. Oh, shit. Got him. It's fine. I'm so good at this game. The kid's smart. Just don't look death in the face. It's totally fine. Empty room. Uh-oh. That one looks a little busted. Okay. Oh, that was the exit door. It was just broken. Must be a private school? Yeah, it's definitely a private school because they're all teaching by nuns. Oh. Ma'am, where's your tired lower body? You'll burn in hell for all time? I mean, yeah. Wait, what are you doing? I'm well aware of that. Yeah. Yes, yes. Okay, bye. Okay, bye. Yay, my first S rank. Okay, I guess we're going back to the car. Me and my knife and my flammen. Do I get smaller when I equip the flamethrower? Ignoring the sausage hose that's off in space? I think I actively get smaller. Okay, bye. Where did I park? Uh-oh. Oh, invisible wall. Very visible trees. Oh, there's the car. I don't know why I parked it on what looks like a fucking cliff. Oh, hi guys. Pretty sicko, don't move. Okay. Okay.
Sorry, Larry.
I had to cooperate with the FBI. What? They knew too much, and I didn't want to go to jail. Wow. Larry was convicted 36 counts of first-degree murder. Wait, that's fucking funny. I can't believe we got turned in by our Christmas tree. Okay. Tree ratted us out. Tree did rat us out. God damn. 5 years later, Christmas Eve. Uh-oh. Ugh. Larry's in the closet with a knife. Come on, everyone. It's time for bed. Okay. Why are all these guys' pajamas look like they have a... Oh, no. Pardon me, just excuse me. Just gonna... Okay. It's time. It's time. Larry's back. Okay, that went great. Any more orderlies? I also just realized I have gloves on in the skin. Can't go up. Gotta go down. Gotta go down. Can I go through here? Nope. Okay. Jesus, that scream. Okay. Ah, fantastic. Okay. What's back here? Stairs. Okay. I feel like I got everybody. Let's go back down. You? Oh boy. Oh. God, sometimes the screams are so funny to me. Okay, bye. I'm just gonna go ahead and check out. Shank. Yeah, shank. Poke. Make new holes. You know. Oh. Okay. Is there a sequel? They might know off the top of their head. I wouldn't doubt if there's another game with like Larry as like a slasher. That was fun. Okay, I see why Indy likes what's it called? I see why Indy likes Puppet Combo so much. But I have sad news, guys. I have sad news. That is going to be it until probably either Friday or Saturday. Saturday is more likely. But we will see what happens. Unfortunately, though, that is it. That is it until after Christmas. But let me see if I can find somebody to raid. What do we have? M is playing... Oh, M got sucked into the ye old Red Dead. I may play Red Dead with him later, potentially. But... Let me see. I'm trying to see if anybody's doing anything either Christmas or spooky related. But everybody's kind of just doing their generally usual thing today. One more Valorant sub. Ugh. Ugh. Wait. Is Hora doing karaoke? Legit at Crimbus? Yeah. All right. We're just gonna rate M. They're doing Red Dead Redemption 2 online. It's kind of interesting. It's kind of fun, but it'll also be a good chill time. M is also showing off their new model. I think we rated M yesterday. I don't remember, but that's just what I'm gonna go with because we're gonna support M in this household. We're gonna do the arrive emote, and it's gonna be raid message. Gonna be Merry Crisis. Merry Crisis. Yeah. All right, guys, I will see you come Friday or Saturday if you don't see me at other people's places first. I may be around with other people, but it's going to be a little hard for me to make plans with for myself for our own show over here. But until then, thank you for being here. Thank you for being awesome. And thank you for enjoying the show. Good night, guys.